After the Spanish-American Wars of Independence, Spain had lost a great deal of its territory and now held small amounts of land around the world, notably Cuba, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines. In Cuba and the Philippines, there were rebels, and those rebels and others were put into concentration camps by the Spanish. The Americans were very weary towards the activity in Cuba, as they saw their interests at stake towards the Spanish authority. Many wanted to get involved to aid the Cuban rebels in Cuba, but McKinley didn't have any desire to go to war. But on February 15, 1898, the USS Maine exploded in Havana Harbor. The media quickly blamed the Spanish for this, and many wanted war. So, being pressured by the American people, President McKinley declared war on Spain. The U.S. began to blockade Cuban ports, and U.S. ships were dispatched to the Philippines and beat the Spanish Navy in the Battle of Manila Bay. They then began supporting the Filipino rebels in the Philippine Revolution, and eventually the Philippines was declared a republic. They later then seized Guam, and in Cuba seized Guantanamo Bay. The notoriously famous Battle of San Juan Hill was later fought, with future President Theodore Roosevelt leading the Rough Riders into action. The Americans captured San Diego and moved their frontiers to Puerto Rico. They managed to capture only the south of the island and didn't go further than that because Spain was ruined with 3 months in war and had to surrender. The Treaty of Paris gave the U.S. Cuba, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines, giving the U.S. an empire of their own. As the Americans began building an empire, the Spanish Empire continued to decline, as now Spain only has a few islands, the Spanish Sahara, and a foothold. American imperialism began to be a common trend, but it was very controversial, as the Filipinos felt that they had been lied to by their American allies, and this would result in the Philippine-American War a year later.